Hi and marhaban. I bet you can count to any number you want in Arabic now, right? In this video, I'm going to be talking about something I mentioned a lot in the previous videos. Numbers that have gender, that can be either male or female. Like the number 5. For example, it can be khams, male, and it can be khamsa, female. That doesn't apply to all numbers, of course. But before I begin, I just want to say that this video is just for explanation, meaning don't get confused. You can leave this male-female thing to practice. Whatever you learn from this video, think about it as something that's good to know. We will be talking some grammar in this video, which I always recommend to skip, especially if you're an absolute beginner. So, just take it easy. If you need any further explanation, then tell me in the comments. I'll be happy to talk more about the subject. So, let's dive in. Look, mainly we'll be talking about numbers from 1 to 19 because beyond that, the numbers are a combination of one or two numbers or more. You'll see what I mean shortly. Now, when will those numbers be male and when they'll be female? That depends on the word they're counting. Let's start with صفر, 0. Now, صفر is one of those numbers that are gender neutral, so it doesn't matter if it's counting a male or a female word. It's always صفر. There is no صفرة, okay? It doesn't exist. Plain and simple. Whatever it's counting, it's always صفر. Now, the numbers 1 and 2 are different. They can be male or female. There is واحد and there's واحدة. Also, there's اثنان and there's اثنتان. The rule here is that both واحد and اثنان have the same gender as the word they're counting. So, if we're counting books, we would say كتاب واحد for one book and كتابان اثنان. Note here how the numbers came after the counted words. This only applies to 1 and 2 in Arabic. Actually, they're redundant. I mean, when you say a book in English, it's obvious that you're talking about one book. Same in Arabic. And as mentioned in the previous video, in Arabic there's singular, double, and plural. So when you say kitaban, it's obvious that you're talking about two books. No need to add ithnan. The point is both واحد and اثنان followed the gender of the counted. Here, kitab is male in Arabic. Now, a car in Arabic is سيارة, which is female. So, when counted by واحد and اثنان, we say سيارة واحدة and سيارتان اثنتان. Again, واحدة and اثنتان are redundant here. But the point is they follow the gender of the counted. Now, the numbers from 3 to 9 are the absolute opposite. They have a gender that is the opposite of the counted. And they come before the counted word. Let's see some examples. And we'll use the books and cars too. So, 7 books would be سبعة كتب. 7 cars would be سبع سيارات. Have you noticed the differences? The same goes for the word بضع, okay, which is, the closest translation for it would be few. The word بضع in Arabic is defined as a number between 3 and 9, including the 3 and 9, of course. So 3 and 9. So it's natural that it follows the same rules that applies to the numbers between 3 and 9. Thus, when counting books and cars, we say بضعة كتب and بضع سيارات. See, the opposite gender. Okay. Now to the naughty one, the 10, عشرة. Why naughty? When she's all alone, no one is looking, she would have the opposite gender of the counted word. If she was associated with another number, meaning the numbers between 11 and 19, she would have the same gender as the counted word. For example, 10 books would be 10 كتب. 10 cars would be 10 سيارات. See, the opposite gender. She's naughty. Now, if you want to say 14 books, 14 كتابا. Here the 10 has the same gender of the counted here. As for the 4 part, the 4 is a number between 3 and 9. So the rule is that it has the opposite gender of the counted. That's why 4 is female here, since the counted kitab is male. If you want to say 14 cars, 14 سيارة. The same rules apply to both parts. Here the counted is female, سيارة is female. So you can see the differences. So mainly these are the rules of the numbers genders. Now what about the rest of the numbers? Well, numbers from 20 to 90 are gender neutral, meaning there is no 20 or 50. Okay, the number associated with them though follow the rules we mentioned. For example, if you want to say 33 cars in Arabic, we would say 33 سيارة. Now the 30 part, 30, remained the same. The 3 part has an opposite gender of the counted as the rule that we learned. Okay, so the counted here is female, so 3 is male. ثلاث. So this is how you apply the gender rules to the numbers from 20 till 99. Now for 100, she is also gender neutral. Yes, she, because 100 is female. So when we want to say 500 books in Arabic, we would say 500 كتاب. Here, 5 is counting the hundreds and not the books. That's why it's male, even though the counted word is male. Okay, 100 is female, so 5 here is male. To explain this further, 5 here isn't associated with 100, like it's not 105, it's 500, so it's counting the hundreds, not the books. Now the numbers after that, 1000, 1 million, 1 billion, etc., are all gender neutral and they're all male. For example, 5,000 cars in Arabic is 5000 سيارة. Again, here 5 is counting the thousands, not the cars. That's why it's female, since 1000 is male. So, to recap, here are the main rules. Numbers 1 and 2 have the same gender as the counted. Numbers from 3 to 9 has the opposite gender of the counted. The number 10 has the opposite gender if it's alone, and the same gender if it's associated with other numbers. We're talking about the numbers from 11 to 19, of course. Now, the last thing I want to mention here, when you're counting, just counting, not counting something specific or counting a specific word, the default is that you would be counting as if you're counting a male. So you would go like this: واحد, اثنان, ثلاثة, أربعة, and so on. Even in slang, if you notice, like in Egyptian accent, they count واحد, اثنين, ثلاثة, أربعة, and so on. Same in the Levantine accents, واحد, اثنين, ثلاثة, and so on. Okay, hope this makes sense. Again, this is not meant to be a grammar lesson. It is meant to explain why some numbers are sometimes male and sometimes female. If you have any questions, or if you want me to explain anything further, then please comment below. Okay, see you in the next video.